breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV, channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Welcome to the Locker Room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Apelon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the Locker Room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, with the sport.
Hello there, my name is Damilola Ogunsi, also known as the Goldfish.
Hi, my name is Chiki Bright Emmanuel. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello peeps, my name is Yomi E. Adejumo.
Hi everyone, I'm Paul Utomi.
Hey everyone, my name is Stacey Benjamin and this is Voice of the People TV.
I need you to keep it locked to VOP TV. See, are you looking for good entertainment? You want to get good movies, good music, politics, talk shows, sports and entertainment. You really want a channel that gives you everything you need without you having to run around. VOP is where you are. That's Voice of the People.
If you're not listening to this, you're not one of us. And you deserve to be killed. Scrap chat. Don't be killed, but watch it. Or I'll find you. And I want you.
And you are locked on VOP TV. Don't go nowhere. This is where the juice is. This is where all you need for entertainment, politics, movies, and whatnot.
And keep watching VOP TV.
So keep it locked, because I'm locked already, man, and it's money back guarantee. So you're gonna have a good time, because I do.
And please keep watching VOP TV.
I won't turn to you actually. I beg you, subscribe, watch it. If not, whatever you see.
You better not touch that die, because VOP is the plot.
It's very sweet. I like the packaging, picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV, live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not speed. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Join Moses, Chukuma, and Fina on Voice of the People TM. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand. Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV, now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the
Welcome, guys. The show is Hashtags right here on VOP TV. This is where we get to tell you all things trending and all things topical. And today happens to be Friday, but I can promise you lots of things to discuss and dissect, right? So if this is your first time here, accept a very warm welcome from us. So I say welcome because this is like a collabo. So my name is Vivian Uguche and
I'm Ikechukwu Aguago, and you're welcome once again to Hashtag. And like Vivian said, thank God it's Friday edition of it, and there's a lot of conversation that we'll be having. Vivian, let's go.
All right, guys. For starters, our first hashtag is going to be hashtag Nnamdi Kanu. So yesterday there was a hearing, right? Nnamdi Kanu, who is in Sokoto, serving a sentence, actually life imprisonment, had appealed for a transfer from Sokoto to the Federal Capital Territory so that he'll be closer to the courts where he wants to appeal his life sentence. So the hearing was yesterday, but there was a little bit of drama, all right? And this drama led to the deferment of the hearing to the 8th of December. Now, this is what happened. When Justice Omotosho, the same person who had, slammed the life imprisonment on Nnamdi Kanu, is the same person trying this one now. When he called for the hearing of this case, Nnamdi Kanu's brother stepped up And Justice Omotosho said, no, you are not a lawyer. You need 6 years to be a lawyer to appear before me for this case. And so he rejected Nnamdi Kanu's brother's appearance and then deferred the case to the 8th, like I said. But so there are nuances to this. I'm going to be walking you through it, right? So walk with me. Let's go to X now so that we get down to the nitty-gritty, shall we? Thank you. Vanguard newspaper says you need 6 years to be a lawyer. Judge rejects Nnamdi Kanu's brother's court appearance. The next one. So this is Vanguard again, telling us the same thing. You need 6 years to be a lawyer. Judge rejects Nnamdi Kanu's brother's court appearance. So credit goes to the Vanguard for that. The next one now. So this one is reporting by the Punch newspaper. So credit goes to the Punch for this. Says that Thursday's proceedings, the trial judge, Justice James Omotosho, fixed the date for the hearing after declining to give audience to Kanu's younger brother, Emmanuel Kanu, who announced his appearance for the IPOB leader despite not being a lawyer. When the case was called, Justice Omotosho asked for the appearance of a lawyer. However, Emmanuel, who is not a lawyer, rose and announced his appearance. There's a continuing part of this post. Let's continue to take a look at it. Thank you. Justice Omotosho then told him that such an application could not be moved by him. Quote, this ex parte motion cannot be moved on the convict's behalf because you are not a legal practitioner, end of quote, Justice Omotosho stated. The judge, insisting that only a legal practitioner can move the motion, advised Emmanuel to either engage a lawyer or approach the Legal Aid Council of Nigeria for representation. Quote, when I said representation, it is not his. In bracket, Kanu's father, brother, sister or relations are meant. I mean his counsel. Finally, let's see what Nnamdi Kanu's brother now said. So when Emmanuel asked for the next adjournment date, or the next adjourned date, Justice Omotosho said that although there were cases on the docket on Monday, that's next week Monday, Kanu would be accommodated. Thank you, sir, Emmanuel responded. The judge cautioned against misleading the public over how Kanu could compile his record of appeal. So, there's one response I'd like for us to take a look at. Shall we? Let's do it. The next one. So, Ashipa Esquire says, the right of a defendant is different from the right of a convict. Then things say, na play. I want us to talk a little bit about that before we go back to X, because something else is playing out regarding this Nnamdi Kanu's case. Yeah. So do you think it is time for Nnamdi Kanu to reconstitute a legal team?
Well,
considering what played out.
The truth is, for me, I never think it's right. It was never right for him to actually had let his legal team go. I mean, even though I might not be in support of certain persons within his ranks, but I think that I don't think it is actually advisable for him to actually have allowed the SAN Kanu Agabi go. Yeah. It's actually very wrong. But again, like I always say, Nnamdi Kanu is just like every man, and I believe this particular move he's making, this decision he's making, is coming from someone who's actually a lawyer, who's actually pointing him that okay, yeah, it's possible you can actually do it, and that's why he's doing it. Because
even though it might not be right.
Yes, yeah, of course. Even though it might not be right. But
because it's really not right for his brother, who is not a lawyer.
Absolutely.
Like someone said, the case of a convict is different from the case.
True. A convict is already a criminal in the eyes of the law. Mm-hmm. And of course, there are certain rights that you have. But someone who is yet to be found guilty, you're as innocent as even the man that's trying you.
Until you are proven guilty.
So at that time, that was why the judge actually dismissed his motion about his human rights, because at that point he has been convicted, so that's why it became an academic issue, right?
You're talking about the appeal court.
Yes,
so
the appeal
prior
court.
to that, before he became a convict,
that was very much a case.
The judge allowed him to represent himself.
It was very much a case.
He was not guilty.
Mm-hmm. It was very much a case. So now you have this particular. So I mean, but then, like I said, he okay, again, one thing you need to also take your mind back. Before the eventual conviction of Nnamdi Kanu in court, you recall that there was a session that was held himself right there in court where Justice Omotosho had to excuse him, Nnamdi Kanu excused Igabi, excuse Ejimako, they all sat before Nnamdi Kanu finally said, okay, I'm going to represent myself. So he had meeting with them. And of course, I'm not privy to that meeting, but I want to believe that one of the things he would ask is, can I represent myself? What is the position of the law in this, right? And who knows what must have been said there.
Yeah, but there's water under the bridge.
Yes.
I mean, this is something that happened.
Yes.
Ago.
So that's what I'm saying.
You mentioned Ejimako, who you said in the past is someone Nnamdi Kanu respects
very
a
close,
lot, and who has referred to himself as Nnamdi Kanu's consultant.
Nnamdi Kanu even referred to him as special counsel.
Yeah, but Ejimako himself is referring to himself as Nnamdi Kanu's consultant lawyer, right?
Which means...
So wouldn't it have been even proper for him to be the one to make an appearance instead of Nnamdi Kanu's brother?
So this is exactly why, thank God you read the post of the wife the other day, talking about, courtroom theatrics.
Okay.
So these are the things, right? So you just go and, tell your client this and then come create some sort of scenes in court. I mean, these are not necessary. These things are actually not
I don't know if you're thinking like me. Probably on the 8th of December, when they're going to be hearing this appeal case now, for him to be transferred from Sokoto, there just might be a lawyer representing Nnamdi Kanu.
It's very possible that maybe Maxwell Okpara, one of the lawyers, the other guy who was not arrested amongst them, who was actually talking about when the Sowore, protest was led.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the other guy who was actually talking about, the process. The other one might actually be the one who step in, or Ejimako himself will eventually step in as, since he's actually a lawyer to actually, take charge. But then again, why will you go through all of this process when you know that this is basically the right thing to do?
Yeah, that's $1 billion question.
It's funny.
But we keep our fingers crossed to see how this one pans out. Be sure to get the update when it happens. Talking about the hearing on the 8th. The hearing, like I said earlier on, is about Nnamdi Kanu's appeal to be moved from Sokoto to Abuja so that he can be closer to the court where he wants to appeal his life sentence. That said, we move on to the next hashtag, which is defection rumors. It's still related to Nnamdi Kanu. So you do know that Governor Oti had visited him over the weekend, and a couple of days after his visit to Sokoto to see Nnamdi Kanu, he visited President Tinubu, and shortly afterward, we saw a post put up by Nnamdi Kanu's wife to say that, look, this visit was all about Nnamdi Kanu. That's what the governor said. But rumors have been swirling online that the governor visited President Tinubu because of something related to a defection to the APC. So the governor came out today to categorically say, look, I am not defecting to the APC. I just went to President Tinubu to discuss Nnamdi Kanu's case because they're seeking a political solution now that Nnamdi Kanu has been convicted. So I take it to X now. So you see that post by the governor and, of course, how netizens are responding. Hashtag defection rumors. Thank you so much. Vanguard newspaper says, I visited Tinubu for Nnamdi Kanu's release, not defection to APC. That's the Abia State Governor, Oti. Responses now. Mustafa Halilu says, you visited in vain. Droppy.nft, collector and gifts. Gosh, that's like a sentence. Says, your second tenure is secured. Radical Duke says, if you like defect or don't defect, 2027, you are definitely stepping down from that seat. Amin says, if he knows what's good for him and his state, then he should defect to ADC. Now, ADC is the biggest and the only platform that can amplify him. That's all. ADC is the only rescue. ADC or nothing. So these are quite varied responses. What do you make of them?
Well, for a governor like Alex Oti, these ones are actually governors with who, I mean, naturally look at them, they're definitely going to come back. They have the leverage. They've done a lot of work. People can actually see. The last 24 years before Oti came on board in Abia State was actually a mess. And he came on, a lot of people have been celebrating ever since. Going to the APC will not change anything. He contested in 2015 as, APC candidate. He lost narrowly to Zikpa as the first term. He would have won that election, trust me, if he had come under another party. But because it was APC, I mean, Southeast would really, really reject APC, and particularly Abia State.
So he's the poster boy of Abgar.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, no, LP,
Labour Party.
It came with the LP, the OB wave in, 2023, and he actually won, and he's been doing so well. So I don't think, defection will definitely be up his sleeve at this point.
So talking about defections, let's go to Osun State, where the Accord Party is intensely wooing Governor Adeleke, who said he's resigned from the PDP. And it looks like he's not going to the APC. You even said you predicted the ADC, but there are lots of permutations that he's going to the Accord Party. But that's not the crux of the matter right now. The next hashtag, even though it's related to Governor Adeleke of Osun State, is Osun LG funds. So it's over, right? Is it over till it's over? But it looks like it's over now. The Supreme Court struck out the case that the Attorney General had put up. The Attorney General for Osun State had put up against the federal government for withholding Osun State's local government funds for months. You remember it was right here on this platform that we broke the news to you that Chief Body Judge of the PDP said Governor Adeleke of Osun State, Ademola Adeleke, had confided in him to say that it was himself, his elder brother, and David Doe, his nephew, who have been paying the local government staffers for months from their pockets. Looks like that's what's going to continue to happen because right now the case has been struck out. It's an elaborate one, so be patient as we take a look at it. Arise TV put up that post. Let's walk through it and see how netizens are reacting to it. Hashtag Osun LG funds. The Supreme Court has delivered a split decision in the case over withheld Osun State local government funds. By a majority of 6 justices to 1, the Apex Court on Friday struck out the suit filed by the Attorney General of Osun State against the Attorney General of the Federation. The court ruled that the Osun Attorney General had no legal right to institute the case on behalf of the state's 30 local governments. Yeah, I repeated that for a reason. It goes on to say it held that only duly elected and inaugurated local government officials have the jurisdiction to sue or be sued directly. There's another part of the post. Let's take a look at it. Thank you. It goes on to say, in its judgment, however, the Supreme Court also declared that the federal government was wrong to withhold local government funds, describing the action as a grave breach of the 1999 Constitution and its recent decision granting full financial autonomy to the local councils. Justice Mohammed Idris, who delivered the lead judgment, said the federal government's hands were soiled by the unlawful seizure of funds and admonished it to ensure allocations are paid directly into local government accounts. The court dismissed contempt allegations raised by the AGF against Osun, noting instead that the federal government was in greater contempt by failing to release the funds as required by law. Justice Idris added that since there was no evidence the Osun Attorney General had been formally briefed by the local governments, he ought not to have filed the case on their behalf. Finally, in a minority judgment, Justice Emmanuel Agim disagreed with the majority, holding that the Osun Attorney General did have the right to bring the case. He condemned the federal government's withholding of funds, warning that it was capable of crippling the activities of local councils. So even though the majority struck out the case, they said it was contemptuous of the federal government to have withheld the LG funds, granting that the local governments have been granted autonomy. It's the same thing the minority said.
Well, basically...
it was the same administration that won the case for local government autonomy.
Absolutely.
That case was instituted by the late President Muhammadu Buhari. So what do you make of this?
So this gives credence to what it means to say you have local government autonomy, right? It means that the local government will just be giving the money directly instead of giving it to the governor, and then the governor will give to the local government. Meanwhile, in a Senate climb, local government autonomy means that the government has to generate its funds, give certain percentage to the governor, the governor of the state, right? And then the governor will definitely give.
Yeah,
to the
but
federal.
that's where there is true federalism.
True federalism.
But in Nigeria, we don't have that.
We are supposed to practice.
They go to Abuja every month to go and share money.
Absolutely.
So
let's speak to the judgments. So the judgments, I think for me it's a good judgment. If you look at it,
you're not confused.
No, I'm not confused. So the thing is this, right? It's different when you say your case lack merit. This is just a constitutional matter.
Yeah, the Attorney General of Osun did not have legal
Since
grounds.
It's a constitutional matter, they can really, sit again, go back, and then, fight their case, and then it will be heard.
So they can still go to the court.
Absolutely.
But this time around, it will be the local government chairman.
Yes. They just have to follow the right channel of the law.
That will go to the court.
Because, of course, from the judgment, it's obvious that they agree that the federal government is in the wrong.
Yeah, but bottom line, the funds are still withheld. That's what it means.
That means they have to go back, in the right channel, which means they said it's a constitutional matter. Come back how, 30 of you, through the constitutional means that is right, constitutional channel that is right, come back and plead your case, and then we can definitely hear you out. But for now, in law, you don't build a case on the wrong ground.
Yeah. So what this means is Davido, his father, and his uncle will continue to pay the local government staff.
Absolutely.
But you see, net is. Oh, please. This is not even right by any means.
It's not, but unfortunately...
Yeah, but I'm even glad the local government staffers are receiving pay at the end of the month. They are not hungry.
Thank God they have people. See, again, another thing is, there are certain states this won't happen.
Yeah.
Right. But it's unfortunate that it's happening, and it's happening in Osun State.
And the man is not even making much noise.
And Osun State is one of those states that churns out the largest votes in Southwest.
Aha.
So it for me, I think this is more of a political thing.
I think this makes it more obvious that he's not at the governor, even though he has defected from the PDP. He's definitely not going to the APC.
It's going to be a long ride.
It might just be their
because you recall also here, we talked about Davido and his uncle visiting the Aso Rock. At some point, where a lot of people were like, oh, maybe is this the sign?
Yeah.
But hey,
looks like it's not working. Happen. Yeah, but netizens, Ikechukwu looks, it seems he's convinced and not confused by the judgment. But netizens are actually confused. That's really the consensus. So I take you back to X. So you see how netizens are reacting to hashtag Osun withheld LG funds. Yeah, it's very long. Osun withheld LG funds. Let's go back to X now. Thank you. Yusuf Adebanjo says, this judgment to me seems to have created more confusion. The more paramount issue to be addressed now is who really are the authentic local government chairmen in Osun State? Is it the Adeleke faction chairman or the APC faction chairman? The SC, that's the Supreme Court, should please clarify that. And that actually is the crux of the matter. Yeah, Sefash of Ife. Ooh, you see how I paused because I'm not very sure of that name. Safash of Ife. Wow. Says the confusion continues. Who is the authentic owner of local governments or of the local governments in Osun State? That's a question that netizens are asking.
There was an APC election, an election where they have a lot of APC local government chairman, and of course the Osun, the PDP local government chairman, and there's this tussle between who is right. Now, of course, in every state, governors will always assert their power over local governments, and maybe this is just a way for the government in the center to actually look at the APC in the grassroots in that particular state. So if you want to actually come get your fund, and then you have to clarify, come through this means. So you have to find a way now to either hold a by-election first to ensure that yes, we now know who the authentic local government chairman are, and then we now move. It's going to be a long
This is what I have to say. Democracy has a long, long way to go.
But to think that the president here, also suffered the same thing.
Yes, under the administration of former President Olusegun
Obasanjo. One would have expected to say, okay, I've been there before. We shouldn't be doing this. Okay, and of course.
Yeah, but hey, it was the same president who, when he wasn't president, campaigned against the removal of fuel subsidy.
Okay.
So hey, let's let that lie. But I was talking about democracy and this whole drama that is always playing out. Because Osun State does not have a monopoly on what's playing out.
Absolutely.
Go to River State right now, things fall apart. Classic things fall apart, I'm telling you. About 15 lawmakers defected to the ruling All Progressives Congress live on TV. So the House right now is divided. But see, what they're doing is making things very difficult for Governor Fubara. And they're saying he's not competent, infrastructure poor, and they're saying all sorts of things about
it. It will even shock you,
and they're also, they've adjourned sitting till January, meaning that they're not going to approve his budget, which he's supposed to have presented.
Vivian, it won't shock you. One of the, when the fire started between Fubara and the governor Fubara and his XY,
XY suspended governor, who is now the governor. Yeah.
And, the governor of FCT and the proxy governor of River State today.
Governor of FCT?
Yes.
The mayor of FCT?
Yeah, mayor of FCT.
Wiki.
Well, potato. When the fire started there, right, one of the grounds that Governor Fubara had to actually dismiss the lawmaker was that they defected. They defected. And then they went to court, and then the court gave a judgment that they technically, in the eyes of the law, didn't defect. But today now we are seeing the same thing happen And I just wonder what's going to happen this time around. It's so sad.
Crossed. You see, it's why we're not even having that hashtag today, because I'm saying they've just opened a can of worms. So it's going to continue to play out over the weekend into Monday. Hopefully, we'll see what Governor Fubara is going to be saying. And then we can have a hashtag Fubara or defection or whatever.
Or Rivers Assembly.
Or Rivers Assembly, or Rivers State, whichever. It depends on how it plays out on X on Monday. So let me take you to another hashtag we've been following all through the week. It is hashtag Christopher Musa. Let me rephrase. General Christopher Musa retired, who is now the defense minister. So I just want to bring you up to date, right, as to how the Ministry of Defense received him today. They are doing to him what they've never done to President Tinubu. Love. They are doing to him what the ladies in Cross River State, the nurses, refused to do to the First Lady, which led to alleged suspension of one of the nurses who posted a video of the nurses refusing to sing now our Mama Bidis. So staffers of the Ministry of Defense today were singing our Papa Bidisu. To the new defense minister, it's just crazy. Just to let you know, guys, that this is an amateur footage, but it's enjoyable, right? And it's just an update. We've been walking you through General Christopher Musa's walk from being called from retirement into being nominated, into being confirmed by the Senate. Now he's resumed office. He was sworn in by the president yesterday. Now he's resumed office in his ministry. Take a look. All right, so it is unexplainable. I don't know the kind of spirit General Christopher Musa retired has, but it is so beautiful to watch. This has been his story. Yes. When he was retired as the CDS, we saw the same honor accorded to him.
Yeah.
When he was nominated by the president, for the first time, netizens spoke with one voice. He went to the Senate. Some were saying bow and go. Akpabio said, no, we'll ask you questions. He did well. He was confirmed, sworn in. And look how they are receiving him at his new ministry. It's just beautiful. It's glorious.
Very glorious. Like I said, I'm just, I don't envy him really, because I mean, this point really means that he has to really put in the work, right? A lot of work, because I mean, now Papa be this, right? So your children are missing in Kirby. They've been recovered, but you have to now tell us who gave the order for those kids.
And he said he's going to jump on that.
That's going to be the very first point.
In fact, he said it yesterday that he went to social media and he was overwhelmed by the kind of expectations. But also the support. He now said, because of that alone, it is going to be his utmost decision, and he'll be determined not to fail his family, not to fail himself, and not to fail Nigerians that are expecting him to turn things around. It looks like Nigerians have shifted their expectations from trusting in the president to now trusting in the defense minister. It looks like they're looking to him now as their father.
Absolutely, because I mean, he's shown. That's exactly why you look at people. Sometimes you look at people in their profession. You don't know persons. A lot of persons are actually watching.
They're watching.
And this guy has been doing this over the years. Nobody,
said anything.
Nobody said anything about him.
So you mean that means there's a time for everything?
Yes, but then when he started that, when the news got out that he's been relieved of his or he's been retired, people started talking.
People raised eyebrows.
Soldiers, under him,
civilians,
rank and files, people under him directly, people who under him through a third party started talking, and people were like, okay, what then is it about this man? And now he got back this job as Minister of Defense, and everybody's happy. Now there's a lot of work for him to actually do. I just hope he finds the strength to actually do it. And I also very much important that whenever he seeks the counsel of the president or the help, to actually do certain things, those things happen immediately, because whatever it is, the box now stops at his door. Nobody trusts any other person to keep us safe. But General Christopher Musa.
Yeah, but I do remember the Senate President Godswill Akpabio saying to him yesterday that whatever support he needs, that he should be sure that he's going to get it.
I don't trust politicians.
Well, at least Senator Akpabio said it.
Let's see, he said it, but me, I don't trust politicians.
Okay, so we move on now to the next hashtag, which is hashtag PMB. Loretta Onoche has stirred the honest nest. She used to be a member of the late President Muhammadu Buhari's kitchen cabinet, right? So she put up a post today that's got people talking online. She was painting President Buhari in very glowing colors. I wonder why she did that. Well, let me take you to X now so you see what Loretta Onoche is saying about her former boss, her late boss. Loretta Onoche says President M. Buhari was honest, open, and sincere to Nigerians. He did not sneak around with the presidency in his pocket while dealing with health challenges. He obeyed the Constitution. He informed the National Assembly and completely handed over to Vice President Prof. Oshibajo to run the country as he deemed fit. President Muhammadu Okechukwu Adewale Buhari is the patron saint of all good people. How did she come up? She's rechristened President Buhari Okechukwu Adewale Buhari.
That's the title he was given in the East.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
What does Okechukwu mean?
What's this word? A portion. Yeah.
Of what?
Yeah, God's portion, something like that. Yeah.
So probably Adewale is a title too in the Southwest he got.
Well, more like I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm just.
But Okechukwu is actually someone's name. What it means is that
a portion.
Yeah. Like when you say something is my portion, this is the portion of God, for me, my share, yeah, something like that.
Interesting. So netizens are responding to her post now. I'm wondering why she actually put up this one. But hey, netizens are responding. Let me take you back to X so you see how they are responding, shall we? Yeah. So Kelechi Donpido says, may his kind never happen to Nigeria again. Hati says, thank God I experienced his presidency. No one will tell me what I saw. Keep your epistles for your kids. Oluwaseun says he obeyed the Constitution. How did Mazi Nnamdi Kanu get to Nigeria? So netizens are having none of it. I can tell you that, right? So I'm thinking it's safe for us to let that particular one lie as we move on to the next hashtag, which is hashtag Senator Ned Nwoko. It is a follow-up to what we put up yesterday. We put up a post yesterday regarding Senator Ned Nwoko threatening legal actions against a TikToker who had said he was paid to assassinate Senator Ned Nwoko's separated or ex-wife, Regina Daniels, even though he said it was just content creation. But the senator is serious about this issue, and there's a follow-up to this matter. An apology is in this mix. So let me take you to X now to see the post Senator Ned Nwoko put up today. Shall we do it? Yeah, thank you. Senator Dr. Prince Ned Nwoko says, The accompanying video trended a couple of days ago. That was the video which said someone was paid to assassinate Regina. And then he goes on to say, it is testament to the fact that Nigerian social media space has become one of the most unregulated in the world. Laying very serious allegations have become a common trait to attract millions of views without recourse to the damaging effects on the people involved. Knowing that there could be evasion of consequences because they can easily prey on the emotions of Nigerians, encourage this deviant behavior. This case and many others has now clearly justified the urgent need for the social media bill in the National Assembly. You can't lie to make money and turn around to apologize after criminally defaming and hurting people. It is time for social media companies to be mandated to open up offices in Nigeria and to take responsibility for what they allow on their platforms. If landlords are being threatened with punishments for actions of their tenants who are Yahoo boys, what stops social media companies from being held responsible for allowing defamatory contents in their platforms? All our local media houses comply with laws concerning defamation. Why make an exception for foreign companies who don't pay taxes and ultimately avoid all manner of liabilities because of the absence of regulations? We must effectively be able to apply regulations, or there is no end to this. Is Senator Ned today? Who knows who is next? There's a concluding part to that, but just hold on. Let's keep this on the screen while Ikechukwu and I, tear this apart a little bit. Two things I want to bring to your notice. First, he's talking about regulating social media. Remember when this happened under the Senate presidency of Bukola Saraki, and the likes of Dino Melaye and all wanted that to happen? Nigerians revolted, and that bill was dead on arrival. I don't know if it's going to happen this time around. But then he also said that social media companies must be mandated to open offices in Nigeria to take responsibilities for what their tenants do. Once upon a time, it used to be X, is now it used to be Twitter, is now X, had an office in Nigeria, right?
No, they don't.
Or they were supposed to have an office in Nigeria, but they decided to put it in Ghana.
Google as well.
Google as well. So it was because, according to them, unfriendly circumstances. Yeah, so I don't know if that's going to fly as well. Those two things.
So the thing is, I don't know why. Yes, I can understand the place for you saying, okay, their content is actually hurting people, and there should be a way to actually regulate it. But before you open a social media account, it's just that people don't read terms and conditions. Everything you do is just on you, and the company only has certain rights to actually. I'm talking about the company now, only has certain rights to your back ends. That is if required by law. I'll give you a classic case of what happened between some fraudsters in Nigeria and a 17-year-old kid in the US. They actually defrauded this guy, and then they blackmailed him, into committing suicide. When he died, the FBI swung into the case in the US, and because they wanted these Nigerian boys to actually be extradited. And when they got to the company, in this case, Instagram, that's Meta, which is Facebook, the parent company, and Meta, which is the parent company of both Facebook and Instagram. They asked for the access to actually those guys' back end, and the company denied. They declined them. FBI declined them this access to the. Why? They said you don't have any rights, and then they now only the conditions that these things that we're actually asking for is to protect. It's going to affect minors.
So your point is what?
My point is simple. What Ned is actually talking about, saying you should the companies to come set up shop here because people
it can be done remotely.
They can't even do it.
Okay,
you can't force them to do it. That's what I'm saying. You
can't force them, absolutely.
And if you think you will have to ban social media because one person is actually using it to actually look at the countless number of persons that have actually used it for good.
Yeah.
What are you going to say to the companies in this case?
True.
Again, right?
So there's a debate, and actually the jury is out on this. You're going
Absolutely.
To see, the jury is out on this.
There's no way.
Netizens are reacting. Let me take you back to XAC, the concluding part of that post. There's a video he put up, but before we take a look at that video, we'll take a look at the concluding part and how netizens are reacting, shall we? So Senator Ned Nwoko goes on to say, please support my bill on the regulation of social media companies, which simply seeks to get them to register in Nigeria and open their offices here. This will mean the following employment for many Nigerians: technology transfer, payment of taxes, litigations will be easier and cheaper instead of suing them in foreign countries. They will also help in tracking bandits and other criminal activities. And lastly, our records will be domiciled here and not controlled by foreign countries who can use them to destabilize our dear country. So let's take a look at the responses. So Abbas says, sir, I don't see any need for the bill. You know the person who posted the video.
Simple.
Simply arrest him and let everyone move on. Starboy Gucci says, Baba, we no need any bill. Leave social media regulation bill and hold who defame you for him. Okay, I'll stop there. The tech boss says, strongly disagree with the unregulated part of the message. Social media actually self-regulates. I don't think there's anyone who saw that post and supported it. Most people likely disagreed with his lies and cautioned him against it, myself included. We have bigger issues to deal with as a country than to focus on a desperate rascal. Charge him to court and let him turn a new leaf in jail. Problem solved. So what video is Ned talking about? What video are netizens talking about? Take a listen.
I'm not talking to you. Ned, Regina's husband, I was not talking to you. My name is Liar of TikTok. My name is Liar of TikTok. It was my name. It's my name. I'm like, that's my name. I do lies. I lies on I go online and lie. I was not referring to Ned Okonkwo. I did not even call his name. I did not put his picture. It was not him I was referring to. I was not referring to, but please, sir, this video is, they are referring to you. It was not you. I'm sorry, sir. I'm very, very sorry. I'm very, very sorry, sir. Oh, boy.
You say, oh, boy.
I'm trying not to laugh. So that's an apology, right? Yesterday, he was very bold when he was online saying that he was paid some monies by the senator to assassinate Regina Daniel. Now he's apologizing. And it was Senator Ned Nwoko who put up his apology. He attached it to that long post. Apparently, netizens are saying, look, there is no need for regulating social media. Charge this person to court. Apparently, they've put the fear of God in Liar of TikTok. And he's saying, sir, I am so sorry. But do you think Ned is going to let him be? Because Ned already put up a post that he was going to fight this thing to a logical conclusion.
So it's two ways, right? The old boy part got me, you know. I mean,
he's like...
He now understands, you know, the level of mess he's in. And yesterday I was saying that he should be punished. But me hearing old boy... I think, yes.
He also said he's an orphan. There's another video. He said he's an orphan.
See, at this point, that I really don't care. But what I think...
You don't care he's an orphan?
I don't care, sincerely. What I really think... seriously, what I really think should be done to him, even... I don't support him being in jail now. I want to see him do community service. Yes, some serious community service. Maybe, you know, tasked with him cleaning, you know, his local government for like 6 months, clean the drainage. Yeah, something like that, you know. I think that will suffice.
Yeah.
That. But
you'll make a good judge if you try it. Yeah, but hey, Senator Ned is saying that there is no justification for trying to make money by defaming someone.
Now you're making money.
And then come and apologize.
You're making money. The family is, you know, is hurting. It's not fair for anyone. Right?
Well, let's see if Senator Ned, as a lawmaker and a father, would have mercy on Liar of TikTok and let him off the hook.
Will he stop being a liar?
Well, that remains to be seen.
Okay.
But we'll keep our fingers crossed, and I will continue to keep you updated on this one. Another story we've been following from the beginning, and we are going to keep following it to the end, is hashtag Two-Face. You know, the whole blah about Two-Face and Natasha and his family. For the very first time since Two-Face has been embroiled in marital crisis from Annie Idibia, because she's taking back the Idibia names. People are wondering why Annie is now answering Annie Idibia again after Natasha and Two-Face quarreled. But hey, that's an aside. Since Two-Face was with Annie, and after he left, and now with Natasha, he's never ever come out to talk against his family. This is the very first time he came out to denounce his family publicly. Now I'm thinking the dude is at the end of his rope. I'm not going to detract from it by paraphrasing what he said. So I just love for you to take a listen to Two-Face.
My family has been, this whole thing has gotten dangerously out of hand. I'm not just gonna be quiet anymore. I feel I have to say some facts here. I'm a grown man, and I believe I have the right to be whoever I want to be. You understand? My family has, in trying to say they want to save me or say they want to help me, they have actually destroyed me. And they have killed somebody's daughter's character, like they've just literally killed somebody. Because Natasha is getting death threats right now. Fine, we've had our quarrel. Please tell me who doesn't have with their spouse, who doesn't have a quarrel every once in a while. Please. But this has gotten out of hand. I'm perfectly okay. I'm good. Everybody has been seeing me out there. Anybody that has eyes to see, they've seen me out there. I did my show recently in Abuja. A whole lot of people were there. How can you say you say you're trying to save somebody, you're trying to, and then you're messing my life up. This is unacceptable by me. I'm not gonna take this lightly anymore. It's my own family, my brothers. Sorry to say, but this is not right in any way. Natasha is getting death threats. This is so unfair. It's not nice. I have the right to be with whoever I want to be with. I've not gone to anybody's house.
So for the very first time since his very illustrious career, Two-Face is calling out his brothers. He's saying Natasha is getting death threats now. He said over and over again that he's not a child, that in the name of wanting to save him, his family has assassinated Natasha's character and has also messed up his life. This is actually not pretty anymore. It's totally, it's painful.
So when a man starts, making statement and saying, I'm a full-grown man now.
I'm not a child.
It means he's a child.
Oh my gosh, what are you saying?
No true king says, I'm a king. You see it. And also...
So you're saying Two-Face is childish?
I think there's something wrong.
What's wrong?
I don't know. But there seems Two-Face is off his person. And also, this may now start giving credence to people who've been saying, must have been under some influence. I don't know, but...
Well, I disagree. Before you go too far,
well, again,
I think he's just denouncing too much interference from his family. That's why, if you listen, it's a 9-minute long video. If you listen to it, he said he has not gone to anybody's family to put mouth in their matter. Pardon my grammar. I'm mixing pidgin and English right now.
The thing is, if you've listened to Two-Face over the years, even before now, the way he talks, I think there's something off.
Did you follow Two-Face and Idibia when they were having their hassles and all? His brothers were the ones that would bring the matter to the social media. They were the ones that would crucify Annie. The same thing is happening again. So maybe they should just let him be. If they can actually let him be for now, yeah. I don't want to. This is a family affair.
Yes.
So Two-Face has a right to ask for people to let him and his family be. How about Natasha that is receiving death threats? And she's even pregnant at the moment. But can we put our pulse on this?
Family issues is something especially when it comes to this.
We'll keep our pulse on this story as it continues to unfold. Who knows? Hyacinth, Two-Face's brother, who was on Instagram saying his brother needs help, might respond to this. Who knows? His mother might actually come to say something. But I'd like for us to quickly take a look at one more hashtag, Morayo, before we go quickly. We're just going to do a mention. Morayo is reigning right now. Let's go to X now so you take a look at that post that was put up. Hashtag Mariah quickly. It's about Wizkid. Can we do that? Let's do it. Thank you. Charts Africa says Wizkid is Apple Music's most streamed Nigerian artist in 2025. 25 of his songs made the top streamed list. Mariah is the #1 album in Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa. Kese is the most played song on Nigerian radio with 1.87 B impressions, and he did not drop a single track in 2025. Someone in the response segment is actually latching onto that particular one, that phrase. Can we quickly take a look at the responses? Yeah. Oti says, emphasis on he didn't drop a single track in 2025. Slim Big Boss 22 says, see greatness. G says, grace you can't deny. Ikechukwu, 20 seconds.
No, I don't understand anything.
All right. On that note, we wrap it up. Congratulations to Wizzy. And we do hope that Two-Face and Natasha will sort out their issues. Ned Nwoko. It was TikTok, liar of TikTok, that called him Unkocha or something. We do hope that Senator Ned Nwoko and his wife also sort their matters out. Guys, I need to say thank you to this incredible team. Every Friday, they make my job easy for me. So I know Manfred, I'm wrapping up. So I need to say thanks to Manfred, thanks to Adira, thanks to Paul and Ikechukwu. You guys are the best. Maximum respect. And to every other person that contributed to making the show a success from Monday till this very day, respect. Thanks to you guys for watching all the way. If you liked it again, keep a date with Ikechukwu and I for another edition next week, Monday. Until then, I am Vivian Oguche. Bye for now.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare.